and you felt maybe the fixture congestion had just sort of got on top of you. How beneficial was it last week being this clear week, and obviously a little break after this now as well?
Well, it certainly helped having the extra day's recovery, because it was very quick between the 3 games last week we had. But having a few days recovery has been good for us, and hopefully it shows.
How are you looking now at the race for the top 4? How many teams do you think are realistically in it? And is it maybe not even a couple of spots you're going for, given Chelsea seem to just gone away with?
Well, I think our idea is to try and sort of challenge those top 4 teams. We don't necessarily see ourselves quite there yet, but we think that we want to try and challenge them. We want to try and have a good go at trying to hang in. We missed out last year by 2 points, so the challenge to the players was, can we get those extra 2 points, which might make it. But let's be fair, the level of competition for those spots are very strong. It's been over recent years, it's been quite a regular group of teams who are in there. Maybe the likes of Leicester and Tottenham at different times as well doing it. So I've got to say it's not an easy group to break into, but we're going to try and keep hanging in there and see where we end up.
You'll be delighted, I'm sure, to hear that. I'm not going to ask you about Jesse Lingard this week, but I am going to ask you about Nat Phillips. Is centre-back an area where you're looking to improve, and is he a player that would just improve you in that position?
Well, I don't know why you would ask me about a player directly, the name of a player, because I wouldn't give you an answer whether I was or I wasn't. So you can take that as whatever answer you like, Jamie.
Just doing my job, David. I expected that answer. Look, you've obviously been back to Old Trafford many times over the last few years, but I think this might be the first time you're heading back there with the team above Manchester United in the table. That must give you a bit of satisfaction. You're only human to feel satisfied with that.
Yeah, of course it does, because there's not many managers who go to Old Trafford and find that their team's above them in the Premier League over many years. So you think when Sir Alex was the manager and how hard it was for MD to get in front of Manchester United. So I'm pleased we're going back in front of them, but what really matters is us getting 3 points, and what matters is that we're ahead of them, certainly come the end of the season. At this time in the season, it doesn't really matter that much.
The fact they're on their, 6th different manager now, and they'll be looking for a 6th in the summer, do you think that shows that maybe people were too quick to judge the job that you were doing there, and there were deeper problems at United?
I think when you go to the big clubs, you get judged immediately. So I think you have to expect that. I've said many times, look, it's a brilliant club. It was a great job to have. I'm more disappointed in myself that in my period that I couldn't do a better job. But overall, as everybody's seen, Manchester United have had some of the best managers in the world, even in recent years, and it's a tough job. So, look, it happens in football. You don't always get it right. You don't win all the games you should do, maybe at times. But I look back at it with really fond memories, and the people I worked with and the players I had there, they were excellent players. I just couldn't get it to work at the time.
And do you think it was a job that changed you as a person, as a manager? Do you think your reputation maybe unfairly suffered because of the job there?
I think if you lose your job at Manchester United, it makes news throughout the world. It doesn't matter where you are, you know what's happening at Manchester United. So it was part of it. I took over from Sir Alex, which was a real difficult task, but I was really fortunate to be offered the job. So I was happy at the time to take it. And as I said there just a bit earlier, I wish I could have done a bit better.
Good stuff. Thanks very much, David. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jamie. I'll move on to Damien from PLP, please.
Hey, David. Going back to United, does it mean that little bit more because you had your time there and were deemed, I guess, to have been unsuccessful?
No, it doesn't really, because I feel as if not many people got offered the Manchester United job. And I think to be offered it in the first place tells you exactly what you're thought of. I think at the time when I took the job, I was probably as ready for the job as MD was. But maybe other reasons, it was that there was a lot of changes going on in the Premier League. Teams were changing, teams were evolving. And Manchester United were changing and evolving, but they just lost one of the best managers of all time. And it was going to take a little bit of time to get it right. So, unfortunately, I was the first one. But I wouldn't change it. It was a great job, and I was really privileged to be offered the job.
Can you tell us any team news surrounding your team? Souček possibly back, Ben Rama, is he available? One or two others?
Well, we've had COVID, and we have COVID like everybody else in the Premier League teams. We have injuries as well, which all has an effect on your team and your players available. But look, Thomas came back from COVID, not quite sure yet exactly how ready he is or if he's ready. So we need to try and assess that and see exactly where he is. But hopefully we're not too bad, and we'll go there and try and do the best we can.
I know you don't want to talk about specifics in terms of the transfer market, but West Ham is an attractive prospect for a lot of players. I just wondered how much room for manoeuvre you have in the market.
Room for manoeuvre, could you explain that a wee bit to me, Damien, exactly what you mean?
Well, just in terms of have you got money to spend, are the board backing you to go out there and get money?
Yeah, 100%. The board have been really good. The board have supported me greatly and saying to me, go and get what you need if you can, David. But like anything else, things are expensive in this window at the moment. Also, there's not a great pool. The sort of positions we're looking for we found quite difficult to identify and maybe get ones which we think can come in and make a difference in this immediately, really. In the last couple of January windows we've been able to do that. This window's felt a wee bit more difficult. But if things go right and we get a good run of things, I'm still hopeful that we'll add a couple of players before the window closes.
Thanks a lot. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Damien. Finally, Emma from the BBC.
Afternoon, David.
Hi, Emma.
I just want to take you back to the game against Manchester United at London Stadium. Your memories of that and that decision to bring on David Noble to take that penalty. It was a brave move, wasn't it?
Yeah, that David Noble's not the best at penalty kicks, Emma. But Mark Noble's very good at penalty kicks, Emma.
Sorry.
I'm glad it was you, Emma, not me. I bet the BBC will cut that out, but if it was me, they would definitely keep it in.
Honestly, I'll be docked wages today. So it just helps that I'm asking you about a decision that you made that ultimately it didn't pay off, sadly, did it?
Not easy, these decisions, Emma, I'm telling you. But anyway, look, no, it didn't, Emma. And I think since then, Mark's taken about 3 penalties since then and scored the 3 of them. He certainly scored at Watford. He scored one for us in a penalty shootout against Man City, and I think he scored one in Europe as well, if I've got that right. I might be wrong with that. Yeah, so look, Mark Noble has got one of the best goal scoring percentages of any player in Europe. So the decision to make it was a big call. It really was, Emma. I didn't enjoy my own company, I've got to say, for a few days after it, because I thought I made a terrible decision and I beat myself up about it. But when you're a football manager and you have to make decisions, sometimes you get them right, sometimes you get them wrong. This one, on the day, I got wrong, but I still think the real reasons for doing it were the right ones.
And in fairness, the penalty was saved rather than missed, wasn't it?
It was, and if we're being fair, Manchester United goalkeeper's been playing out his skin this season, really, and that on that day he made a great penalty save. And actually, prior to it, I don't think David had made too many penalty saves. So, in my own way, I was thinking, oh, good, we've got a draw out of this right at the end here, but it didn't quite work.
You have won at Old Trafford already this season. Admittedly, it was in the League Cup, but that's being above them in the table, although they have the game in hand. That must all help psychologically.
I think so. I think going to Old Trafford's never an easy place to go for any team, never has been. So we have to go there with confidence. It's a really big game for us, because I feel that we've got a chance to go and show our credentials and show that we can be challenging up amongst the top 6-7 teams again this season. And as we always expect Manchester United to be up near the top. So it's a good game. I feel as if it's a chance for us to go and show what we can do.
Here's a stat for you. You have never won as the visiting manager in the league at Old Trafford in 14 attempts. Are you confident that can change this weekend?
After my win there in the League Cup a few weeks ago, I'm really confident, Emma.
Thank you.
Thanks, Emma.